Hi there. So firstly, I'd like to thank you for ordering my gig here on Fiverr, and I really hope that I'll be able to help you out throughout this project. So firstly, I had mentioned that I'm going to be getting into reverse engineering here, basically what it is and uh, the process I use to essentially reverse engineer, and what I mean by that. So reverse engineering is basically where I take the process you'd normally go about sourcing products and finding making niche suggestions and just flipping it completely. So normally people tell you that you're supposed to go out there and find products, import a ton of products into your store, and then go and find people to target to those products to thereafter. Now, what I actually do is find the audience first, the audience that's going to purchase the product, and then work my way backwards. So by this, I go on. But the way I do this actually is I go on Instagram, and I might have mentioned to you, or I might have not, but what I use for this strategy is Instagram influencer marketing. Now, I want to get more into what Instagram influencer marketing is and how you can use it with a more in-depth strategy towards the end of this when I deliver your store to you. But for right now, I'm going to just give you like a light overview of what it is and just really focus in on reverse engineering for this video. So the way that you're going to go about doing this is you're going to go on Instagram.com. You're going to need you might need a Instagram account for this. Some influencers you can reach out to by email, and I'll show you that in a second as well. But you probably want an Instagram account. Just makes life a bit easier. You can also do this on your phone if you prefer to. But basically, what you're going to go out there and do is you're going to find what you're doing. What you're going to do is you're going to find people who have general niche pages, and by this I mean like there's two types of Instagram accounts. Basically, and that's firstly either a celebrity or an account that a person runs and is tied to that person. So an example of a celebrity or personal account would be like Kylie Jenner, for instance. She would be a celebrity or individual Instagram user. And there's other people like within certain niche that also um, you know, this I could make this reference to, and that could be like, okay, if you're trying to sell basketball products, LeBron James would be the celebrity influencer within that space, or a person who is known within basketball who has an influence over 32.1 million followers here you can see. So, but I'm going to tell you from now on that these are not the type of people that you want to reach out to, even if it's like smaller celebrity influencers. So like people on YouTube, for instance, who have YouTube channels, who are active within certain niches. You wouldn't typically want to reach out to them because they're going to always charge you more, and you're probably going to get less results all the time. So unless you really get a good unless you can unless you capitalize on the strategy I mentioned later on. But for the sake of this strategy, mostly I'm going to be focusing on general page influencers. Now, what a general page influencer is pretty much like what I say it is. It's just an account that's not like specifically tied to a specific person, and it's just it's just like a general is just based on the general. It's more so focused on the niche itself and not focused on a particular person. So an example of this here that I'm going to try and pull up quickly is actually I have it here already for you. Is this page here on scuba diving? Now, if I come over here and I search for scuba diving, there might be a celebrity influencer, someone who's personally known within the space of scuba diving. Maybe someone who's famed or known for being a professional scuba diver. You wouldn't want to reach out to them. You'd want to reach out to like a general page, which would be like this page here. It's not tied to anybody specific. There's no posts being made here that are tied to someone personally. It's just a bunch of general pictures, and that's the theme you want to go for. But basically, to get more into what influencer marketing is here, just like briefly, it's basically this page has an influence over 83,000 followers, or a select few out of the 83,000 followers. I want you to also know that it's not always about the followers, and but what it is all about is the engagement. So to weigh the no, to know how how much engagement a person typically has is to look at the last 5 posts they've made and make sure that they've been within like a week or two. So this page gets 9, 8, 3, 8, 9, 3. So on their pictures, they get typically 3,500 likes, and on their videos, they get anywhere between 8 to 9,000 views. So that's the way to tell, engagement. You don't want to ever pay for followers. Always pay for engagement because that's what gets results. Now, the reason I brought up this particular influencer here is actually because I've dealt with this person. This is one of the people I deal with on a regular basis. They're great. I've done a couple posts with them, and I've managed to 3 and 5x my money using some of these per person's posts. So I'm going to throw this in here, like, sort of for free, maybe if you want to reach out to them. Yeah, I just threw that in there just to let you know that I actually use this person, and I'm actually going to give you the product that I use here for it as well. And I'm going to go over here. I have it ready for you. It's this scuba mask product right here. So I've actually gone ahead and I've created an ad, and what I did is I reached out to this person here on Instagram, and firstly, what I did to explain the reverse engineering process one time as well is what I did is I went on Instagram. I searched for different general niche pages. I looked to see which one had good engagement, um, and also you have to focus on a good engagement to follower ratio. And then what I did afterwards is I was like, okay, now that I've found this scuba diving page, what can I sell to these people? And that's the way to go about it. You always want to find the audience first and then figure out, okay, what can I sell to these people afterwards? You don't want to find the product and then like go out there and search for audiences that you can uh, sell this to after, because the real way to have a successful Shopify store is to sell to people. It's all about sales. In the end, your goal here is to be profitable and make sales. And the only way to do that is by having people shop at your store. So I think the main key or main takeaway I want you to have from this is to put as much effort as possible into finding people and not the product. Because once you have the people and you know that you can market to a targeted audience, finding the product to sell to them is so much easier thereafter. So it's almost a no-brainer that people in the scuba diving industry would want you know this scuba mask over here. Like it becomes like almost, you can see how this campaign is going to play out, and you can see that this is more this makes more sense. And that's why I typically, I prefer to recommend, well, I recommend my clients using influencer marketing over Facebook ads, because Facebook ads is more like, you first get the product and then you have to go and do intersect targeting and all sort of detailed targeting. And, you then have to, you don't have as much. You have control over your ad budget, but you don't know how far it's going to go until with where testing is concerned, and where other factors are concerned, where campaigns flop and all sorts of stuff. With influencer marketing, it's either you go here, you contact this person, you broker a deal, and if the campaign flops, the worst case scenario is that you lose maybe $40 or $25 or $25 to $40 at most, using the strategies that I'll mention later on, because there is a way you can lose tons of money on this, but I'm going to be sure to break everything down more towards the end. This is just sort of mostly focusing on finding audiences here in this video. So I want you to just see, I just want you to see this, take it in, make the connection, and sort of understand. And this works for other products as well. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to find maybe, I'm going to just source another product, maybe see if I can find another audience here for you, and then connect it with another product so that you have an idea of how this works. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say, cosmetics in the beauty niche is also a pretty popular niche on Instagram. So you can go over here, you can maybe say nails, and you can come over here and search for some of these nails influencers, and you're gonna always know that they're an influencer because they'll have their their email address into their bio, or they'll say DM for business inquiries. And I believe the previous influencer had that. You see, they have their email address right here, and yeah, typically if they don't have their email address, they'll say DM for inquiries. So you can either DM them or email them, whichever you prefer. But sometimes I even do both because these influencers don't always get back to you. So they're pushed on schedule, and they have other people who are looking to market through them as well. So, but this is what is the key takeaway. You want to find people who are passionate within a specific niche, and the way to do that is to find them first, to find the passionate people first, and then to find them their products for them thereafter. So I had mentioned like to look for nails, and then like you could just come over here into AliExpress, and then to find something related to nail, like nail polish, for instance. You could then find them a nail polish, source that product, and then you can see the relation thereafter. So that's why I wanted to like sort of focus on here. You can continue to look through Instagram as much as you want. I definitely say that if you agree to do the general store, you're gonna want to maybe search up several different niches that you think people are super passionate about. And a great way to tell is sometimes if there's comments on them, but don't focus too much on the comments, because like I said, I've dealt with this person, and I'm actually gonna give you the figures here of one of the campaigns I did. So I paid this person, I believe $40. I broker them down to that. And just to give you a real world example of how much I made, I believe I closed in on 200. Sorry, I've done a lot of campaigns, so I'm thinking here. But I know for sure that I did over $200. I think it's either 200 or $250 because the product was a $50 product. So um, but yeah, so this is how you basically reverse engineer the process of finding niches and finding products. So I hope this helps you, and I really want you to take this in and now go on Instagram and look for niches and look for people, because that's what's most other people are going to tell you to just import a ton of products, and that makes no sense, because what really matters is the people, and it's the customers that make your store. It's not the store itself that makes your store. So I hope that sort of reconceptualizes how to go about this, and how to in the future source products, and how to sort of make the relation between people and the product itself. So if there's any additional questions, just feel free to message me, but hopefully this was clear enough. And yeah, so I'll be working on your order, and if at any time you feel you'd like an update, just let me know. But typically I deliver towards the end of the timeline, just because I deal with a ton of clients, and um, it's easiest just for me to keep my schedule according to the timeline. So, but thanks once again for ordering, and if there's any other questions that you might have, just feel free to reach out at any point in time. So, thanks once again.